Andrew, you start. Yes, mate.
From home, as backflips go, this one's with a double pike. How bad was the polling, especially among women?
Well, Andrew, the objective for us is to make sure that we can win the next election so that we can manage the economy well, that we can support families get through what's been a really difficult period. People can't afford 3 more years of Labor, and what we have said clearly is that where we're collecting taxpayers' money from people who are working harder than ever, you look around South Australia, people who are working second and third jobs just to pay the mortgage because it's gone up by, on 12 occasions under this government. They need to be reassured that the taxes they're paying is being spent effectively, and that in part was the point that we're making. But I've apologised for the decision that we took in relation to work from home. It only applied to Canberra. Labor's run this scare campaign, and I think we bring an end to that today, and we strongly support flexible workplace arrangements, and it never had any application to any part of the economy except for the public service in Canberra, but that's not how Labor's portrayed it. I think you're seeing a lot of scare campaign from Labor in this election campaign because they don't have a good story, a positive story to talk about. If they had achieved success for families and for our economy, for our country over the last 3 years, Labor would be talking about what they'd achieved for people. But of course, that hasn't happened. So we'll come here and then we'll come across.
I didn't quite answer the question. Are you conceding this policy was unpopular with female voters?
We got it wrong and we've apologised for it. We support flexible workplace arrangements, and our plan, which was only ever targeted for the public service in Canberra, Labor's been able to create into a scare campaign, which is not what it was intended. And as I've said before, we will make sure that we can help families, and that's exactly what our positive plan of getting our country back on track's about.
Enterprise told the Australian
on the 41,000 public servant cuts that are now going to only be taken away through natural attrition and hiring freezes. Over the last couple of years, there's been about an average of 6,000 people leave the APS. So is it responsible management of the economy to be banking on savings that you can't control if you're not going to be actively cutting those numbers?
But I'll just point out that our country is going to $1.2 trillion worth of debt. We may have a global recession, but people are going to see the value of their superannuation funds really dramatically decrease if that happens. Labor can't manage money, they can't manage the economy, which is why they always tax. And our policies are about helping Australians. I want to improve the living standards of every Australian. Over the last 3 years, people have gone backwards. There's been a household recession in this country. Families are $50,000 worse off. So we have to be responsible in the way in which we manage the economy.
People will quit?
We've worked with the Parliamentary Budget Office to achieve that profiling, and that's the work that we've done with the PBO, and we'll have more to say about that obviously when we release all of that detail.